Hello, this is Christian Schutte from SAP Experience. In this session I want to explain and show you how you can use the translation feature in our accelerated testing package. So my preparation was that I do have a folder where I do have all my test scripts which I want to translate, and I do have an empty translation folder for my targets. I want to translate from English to German language. So what we're doing is we're using the translation feature, and the translation feature is using the translation XLS, wherein these tabs are defined how the translation should look like. So for transaction roles, here's a certain feature which I will explain later. For the outline, which means the header area of the translation of the test scripts, then we can have special phrases like special SAP words like Buchungskreis or other specific SAP phrases. We do have the file name where under which we want to save it in a certain language, the file. We do have for the tasks a translation. So I've prepared this already by having translated all the English ones to the German ones. How I did it, I will show you a bit later. I did use DeepL Pro for this, which is quite a very comprehensive tool to do this. Okay, this also is some kind of preparation that we make sure that we do have things prepared in our translation XLS, but you will see it's not really necessary, so you can also do it later and simply do another translation run. So I open my enhancement file, and as you can see here, I want to translate from English to Deutsch. So what I simply do is start translation. And I don't want to stop at errors. I don't want that the transaction code is derived from the process step out of this table. I will simply start. This is also a functionality which you can use, but it's not necessary. What I think is important that you say mark changed cell in color, which also then will show you what has been changed if you translate from one language to the same, just maybe to change the header version in all test scripts. For example, you can also translate from English to English, and then nothing will be changed except what you have already, what you want to change by using this translation file, for example. Okay, all the other things we want to facilitate in the translation, and then we are starting this process. We are selecting the location of the translation XLS. We are selecting the source folder, and we are selecting the target folder. When we've done this, there is no further start, then the translation process starts, and it will take a little while. But I've made sure that I do have almost everything in this translation XLS file, so there will not be a big necessity for the system to research things using Google Translation, which is done for all phrases which are not specified with a specific translation in the translation XLS file. So we just need to wait until this process is finished. And shouldn't take that long anymore. And when it's done, I want to show you how you can identify what you probably may additionally add in your translation XLS file, and how this can be done in a very easy and comprehensive way using DeepL Pro desktop version. So it's done, and now we can simply close this enhancement file and take a look on our German test scripts. So we do have the German test scripts, and what you can see is everything is translated to German, and what you see also is some things could not be translated because they were not specified in our translation XLS file. Okay, so in this case we can do the following. We are just facilitating our testing status master. I've already done this run on a previous translation of this file, and then we can go and we do see which of those which of the phrases or process steps, for example, have not been translated, and they are marked red. So we simply can take this, all these red ones, and make a copy, go to our translation file and add this in the process steps. Okay, sorry, that was not a good way. We should simply add the content, and we add the content, and then we can also add the content in the German language column. And what is going to happen is that if we hit twice copy, we will call the DeepL Pro desktop functionality, which I've installed, and will get a translation to the target language which we can select. Here's German, and then from here I can simply insert these translated stuff into my Excel cells. That's really very comprehensive from my point of view. And if we want, we can also add the respective transaction codes by going to our testing master and copying this transaction code the same way into our translation XLS file. Okay, so we can save this, close it, close this, and we can also see there is something else which is not properly translated, which is the S4HANA apps. So we can also take this one, copy it, and put it into our translation XLS file, doing the same like we did before in the S4HANA app area. See, there is already a lot. The same way, insert it twice, English, German, and then do Control, double click on C, and to call DeepL Pro, while this is a setting which you can specify in DeepL Pro, which is a key combination you want to start it automatically with. For me it's 2 times Control C. And so we can also identify other areas which are not translated and add those in the translation XLS, but this will take too much time. And then we simply can go to our enhancements file again and rerun the translation process. But what we should do is, before we should, in our target folder, delete all the files which are there. So we can repeat this process as often as we want and then start a new translation, do the same like I did before, and we will reduce the not translated phrases and statements as for HANA apps and stuff with each run, and so we can simply do it perfect. That's the same for doing translations in all languages. So this, from my point of view, is a very comprehensive way because it allows you to create test scripts in any language, translated to any language, any direction, so you can have a split team working partly on German, partly on English, doing the translation in one or the other direction in order to complete your folder with all your test scripts in a certain language. I wish you good luck and very successful testing and translation, and have fun with our accelerated testing package. Doing it like this really is fun. Thank you very much. This was Christian Schütte from SAP Experience.